This is a story of how this church came to be at this location. And I've been a member of the church all my life, which is 84 years. This story, though, occurred during a period of time when I was a mayor in Alamo Heights, which was between 1981 and 1997. There was a period of 16 years. It also happened to be a time when Alamo Heights Methodist Church had its tremendous growth period. And the growth of the church was really beginning to impact the city in a meaningful way, in a way that was beginning to cause a lot of citizens to complain to the city about a situation where it was congestion in their neighborhood. And this was primarily a residential neighborhood where the church was before. So as a result of that, Bob Scott was head of a committee for the church to try to figure out how the church could expand and still satisfy the neighbors and the city. And he had many, many meetings with our Board of Adjustment. Board of Adjustment deals with changes to zoning issues because the city had requirements in terms of how high you can build something and how much land you can use and how much density you can have on the land. So it was pretty complicated to try to fit within those parameters. But Bob and his committee worked really, really hard to try to accommodate the concerns of the neighbors, but it just didn't seem like it was going to work out. I think this occurred over a period of about 2 years that Bob kept coming back with different plans, different concessions to the neighbors, but nothing seemed to really satisfy the neighbors. In fact, at one point, the church even considered buying the Stewart Center, which was across the street, and moving over there to take the pressure off. But that was a no-go because the owner wasn't going to sell. So at the end of the day, what happened is I sat down with Bob and said, Bob, I was elected by the people of the city. That's my constituency. I love our church. I wish this would work out for the church at this point, but I'm telling you, it's not going to. And you need to make another plan. And so he was a gentleman about it, and he was always very understanding of the position of the city, although he wanted it to work out another way. So that really is the story of how this church ended up at this location. The church ended up making probably one of the greatest real estate deals that I know of. And that is when they finally realized they were not going to be able to expand at the location on Broadway. This land was available because we were in a giant real estate depression. And they bought all of this land for $950,000. And that's how this church ended up being at this location. So, that's the strange and mysterious ways that God operates. Who would have thought that from the beginning, when everything was sort of a no-go, that at the end of the day, it turned out the church ended up, and the congregation, and even the city, because the city just couldn't deal with the problem anymore. But the church and the congregation ended up with a magnificent building. So everybody was a win-win. God acts in strange and mysterious ways.